Alright, what's going on, everybody? Looper Norris here, back with another elevator music, another episode on this great day. Today it's Monday. I thought it'd be a good idea to do a brand new album review. This time, this episode, we're gonna do Benny the Butcher. I figured it might be time to do Benny the Butcher's Tana Talk 4. This is a 2022 album. He did this one last year. I believe it was like the 11th of March of last year. Benny the Butcher, he's a Buffalo, New York rapper. He's been in the game for a minute. He's gaining more attention. He's gaining a little more buzz. I'm pretty sure he was like a battle rapper before. His style, he has a very like battle type of style when he raps. That's one of the first things I've noticed listening to his music. I think he came from a drug selling background, just because a lot of his lyrics, they're gonna involve a lot of like drug selling affiliation and like street life, and really just talking a lot about like being a drug dealer. What I'm assuming is that he maybe was a drug dealer when he was like way younger. Back in the day, he's trying to use rapping as a way to like get out of that life, and then he's using a lot of the stories that he's gone through back in the days when he did drug deal, and he incorporates it into his lyrics when he's rapping, which is a really good idea that a lot of rappers have done in the past. I mean, Jay-Z's probably the most popular one that did that style. Kind of took his drug life when he was like before he started rapping, and he would use it in his lyrics in like a very like savvy, like intelligent way, so that he's able to sell records and, you know what I mean, do his thing. So this album here, Tana Talk 4, 2022 album, I'm gonna go track for track of like how I feel about the album, you know what I mean, what I thought of it. And I gave it a rating and all of that. Johnny P's Caddy, that's the first track. I think it's the most popular track on the album, just based off the views and the listens. The only thing is like this song featuring J. Cole. I think he did a good job at picking out the feature for the album, because like having J. Cole as a feature is incredible already, right? Like you have this super lyrical rapper that can like do any style, that's made so much money, so millions of dollars, made a whole superstar career out of his music. You got a guy like that to feature on your album, like it's only gonna be good things, good vibes. See, the only thing is that I feel like J. Cole destroyed the song. I feel like J. Cole's verse was so much better than Benny's on this track. Like I'm being completely real with you guys. Like Benny's good, he's a good rapper, and he does hold his own on his verse, but I think J. Cole is just like, he's too nice with it, man. Like he for sure killed him off on this one. The next track, Back 2 Times, featuring Stove God Cooks. For this song here, I like the production on this album. The Alchemist produced most of the records on this album, so it's a good reason why I like the production a lot. Alchemist is the producer behind the first 2 songs. That's why the beats are like just fire. The first 2 songs is just, the Alchemist is one of the best beat makers in the game right now, just ever in history, but for sure right now. His rap style reminds me of like mid 2000s to like the late 2000s, like East Coast rapping back in the day, with like rhyme sayers, and like he's from New York, so like that's how I sense the East Coast. You know what I mean? Like before I knew where he was from, I can already tell that he was from the East Coast just because of his flow. And he has like a very like battle style, like freestyle type of flow when he raps, you know? The kind of stuff that you were hearing in like the mid 2000s back in the days. Like it almost seems like he can be a battle rapper with the way he raps, the way he arranges his like his words when it comes to like building up flows. He has a very battle style type of rapping. So it reminds me of like hip hop back in like the mid 2000s to like 2010, like that sort of era. And I hear that a lot on back 2 times. Like, he shows that off a lot on this track here and throughout the album, but it's like this sums it up on this track right here. I thought Stove God Cooks did a good job with his feature. A lot of the features on this album did a really good job just being themselves, being original, being themselves, and it's kind of like making the song even better than it was before the feature. You know what I mean? I think he did a really good job with his features also. The next song, Super Plug, the production slowly gets better and better throughout the album. The first song, The Alchemist did a crazy job on that song, but just great production throughout the album. I'm a big Alchemist fan, so it's no surprise that I'm gonna like the production on this album. So Weekend in the Paris. Yeah, so Weekend in the Paris, the next song featuring Boldy James, another really good MC to feature on this album. It's kind of like perfect for his style. Another Alchemist beat, has a J Dilla style to it. J Dilla production style, which I really enjoy. J Dilla is one of my favorite producers ever. The beat reminds me of a J Dilla beat. I like his like cruising style over the beat, his cruising flow, where he's just kind of like complimenting the beat with his voice rather than trying to kill off the beat. I thought it was a very cool like style to approach with. Number 5, 10 More Commandments, another great song, very street sound. Having Diddy featured on the track kind of brings back the Crack Commandments vibe, you know what I mean, with Biggie Smalls back in the day. So I thought it was like the right thing to have Diddy featured on this one. And they're both from New York, you know what I mean? So Tyson versus Ali, I thought the song was pretty cool. Another great beat, another great production. I like the hook involving Tyson and Ali, the whole boxing reference, how good of a rapper he is, and like his legendary status, I guess, amongst like East Coast rappers, you know. So I thought it was a cool song. Uncle Bun, that's Uncle Bun. I thought the beat was just okay on this one, but I think 38 Splesh, the feature on this song, did a really good job to measure up with Benny the Butcher's style and flow, you know what I mean? Keep up with the skill level. But the beat, I don't like the beat so much on this one. Throwy's Revenge, another beat that's just okay. I think the flow is cool, but it's like a similar flow that he uses throughout most of the album, so that's the only thing. It's a flow that really works with him though. If you're good at the flow, it's nothing crazy to like to use it heavily throughout the album, right? If it works with you. Billy Joe, another cool flow, but the beat's just a little bit boring. See, like the beats that I don't like on this album are the beats that Alchemist didn't make, so you can kind of understand. Like, Alchemist is nice, man. Like, you compare beats to Alchemist, your beats gotta be fire, man, because I think Alchemist is one of the greatest like ever to do it. Straight up, every beat is always like fire with this guy, you know. Guerrero, another like average beat. It's for the same reason I just explained. Westside Gunn, pretty sick feature. I think he's one of Benny the Butcher's it's part of the same like group pack, you know what I mean? It's part of the same camp. Same with Conway the Machine. And like I forgot to mention Conway the Machine, he's also featured in a Tyson versus Ali song. I forgot to mention that. That's my bad. Another great feature, Westside Gunn. He's pretty dope rapper too. Like, he kind of, his flow, his voice kind of sounds like Action Bronson. His style is like very similar to Benny the Butcher's style. They're from the same camp, but it's kind of like Benny and Action Bronson put together, and then you kind of have like Westside Gunn's like sound a little bit. It's kind of funny how I like piece that together, but I like Westside Gunn. I gotta look up more of his music. I thought he was a pretty good feature. Next song, Bust a Brick Nick. Another great beat produced by Alchemist. Great verse. It complements the beat very well. Kind of just summarizes everything that he's talked about in his album and everything he's gone through in his life, being a 38-year-old rapper now. So he's gone through a whole lot throughout his life, and he kind of sums it up with this verse. It's probably my favorite verse on the album. It holds the most memorable lines throughout the verse, in my opinion, compared to like the other songs that he's done. This song holds the most memorable lines, the lines that are gonna bring you back to the song and make you want to listen to it again. I thought that song was pretty nice, and I think the beat might be the best beat on the whole album. I think this beat might be the best, so it's probably my favorite song as a whole. Bust a Brick Nick and Mr. Chow Hall. I think that's how you pronounce it. A good way to conclude the album. Just like another great beat and a lot of great effects throughout this beat to make the song sound more fresher than it would have sounded. Another great verse to end it off, kind of summarizing everything he's gone through in his life and in the album. Sort of similar to Bust a Brick Nick verse, you know what I mean? The verses are sort of similar. I think Bust a Brick Nick verse is definitely better though. It came up with just better references and it just connected better, you know what I mean? Like, but the last track, the last verse, I enjoyed also. Not as good, but it's better suited as like the conclusion verse just to conclude the album. Just as an album, like I enjoyed what I listened to. Just think like the only thing I gotta say about this album, I feel like it's meant for a specific group of music listeners, hip-hop listeners, whatever you want to call them. But I feel like this album was made for people from his area and his camp and just people who's going through a life of like selling drugs and trying to like make a better life for themselves, you know what I mean? Maybe try to stop doing the drug selling and try to get out of that life to find a job that's like more realistic and to just continue, you know, so that they don't end up in jail or killed, you know what I mean? But his album represented that street life very well. I thought that's the highlight of the album, the best part of the album. The only thing is, I feel like a regular music listener that's into hip-hop will have sort of not have a hard time listening to this, but they wouldn't enjoy it as much as somebody who's like in the streets living a similar life as Benny has lived in his past life, you know? The rating I gave it was a 76 out of 100. It's a 76 out of 100 just because like there's a lot of things that could have made the album better. I feel like if you were to try different like styles and could have got like different features from like completely different artists instead of just getting rappers that sound like him on this track, because then it's just gonna be an album where it's just freestyle battle raps and like nice beats to go with them, but every track is like that. Basically every song on this album sounds too much. The beats are kind of different, you know what I mean? They kind of switch up a bit, but the flow that he goes with is like it's the same thing throughout the album. It kind of makes the album a little boring for that reason, so that's the only like bad thing I gotta say about it. But like I enjoyed it. There's a part of me that used to listen to this style of hip-hop, so kind of brought back memories, you know. But 76 out of 100. The production saved it, I think. If the production wasn't as good, the rating probably would have been a little bit lower. But 76 out of 100. Another album review, another album. Tana Talk for Benny the Butcher. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about it. Like, you know, decent album. I'll probably go back to it. But anyways, that's it for today's episode. Elevator music, I think like 48 or something like that. I'm losing count. Thank you guys for watching once again. All of you guys who have been following my music, following my content. Really do appreciate all your support, all the views, all the likes. It's helping me a whole lot. I know I've been saying this before, but I honestly mean it. It's really helping me a whole lot. It's pushing me to become a better artist and a better, I guess, YouTuber, better artist, better songwriter, better videographer, better everything, right? Better reviewer. So really appreciate the support. Yeah, really appreciate the support. I appreciate you guys subscribing, liking, watching my videos. I got a brand new album coming out on July 14th, so stay tuned for that. The End of Fundaes coming out. I have a song, I have a single coming out before that album. So on July 4th, expect a brand new single, a brand new song called Tailgate. It will be available. It'll be available July 4th, okay? And then on July 14th, LP will be available. The full-length 10-track LP. So stay tuned for those two releases coming real soon. July is just around the corner. I'm Norris. I'm out of here. Peace.